Welcome in once again, guys. We're here to feed that Yu-Gi-Oh cardboard addiction, guys. You guys already know we have Dragon Master Magia, Tomatoes, this QCSR from Battles of Legend Terminal Revenge, iconic Yu-Gi-Oh card. Look at this artwork, just beautiful. I own actually a PUR, and it's a Euro one, and it's one of the most amazing cards that I've ever seen with my own two eyes. Love it. So again, we do have the quarter century secret rare max rarity, and the talk of the town can be in the short term very soon. What if this gets a Starlight and the Tints? Just trying to say, man, there's been a lot of talk after, Little Knight and Infinite Impermanence got announced as a reprint right here, which by the way, I haven't seen any new ones announced for today, so I don't know if they stopped already or they're not gonna do any of these more, just skip the day or whatever. But yeah, this is causing a lot of controversy in the community. A lot of people, I mean, they don't know what they want. Some people are like, nah, man, high rarity should stay high rarity. They shouldn't be this cheap because then my QCSRs lose value and, and this and that and the third. And then there's other people that they're like, man, I'm on a budget, man. Just being able to afford high rarity or max rarity of a card this cheap is amazing, man. I get to play, this cheap cardboard that looks amazing. I'm on that side of the bandwagon per se. In my humble opinion, I like cheap cards, especially cheap cards that come out and then eventually they can become money throughout time. That's the key point that people don't pay attention to. A lot of people, oh man, look, my quarter centuries are $60 now and, lost value. I paid 120s for them and I'm down 50%. And, I thought I could hold on, to high-end max rarity this, or I'm a collector and I collect staples and, Little Knight this and Little Knight that. First of all, staples, to me, in my humble opinion, just because a staple is a quarter century secret rare, I wouldn't be of the mindset like, I need to collect all these quarter centuries. No, if it's a staple, it's going to get reprinted at one point, some way, somehow, especially heading into the tints. That's why we always talk on the channel about mitigating risk, if heading into a reprint season, all these high-end cards, man, I'd be selling most of them. Of course, some of these cards have been out for multiple years, so it's getting reprinted now. Last year it didn't get reprinted and people held through, right? And they held their high end. But again, now Konami's reprinting Starlights. That's the key. If Starlights are around the corner, then high end, you might have to, move them heading into the reprint season. I would have been moving the quarter centuries. Oh, it didn't get reprint. Okay, pick them back up. Because now those quarter centuries are getting destroyed. A lot of people, oh man, this is my value, that. Me, I'm a proponent. Reprints. I love reprints, man. I won't lie. Like me looking at these Starlights, I'm like, man, I'm just looking at an investment opportunity. But there's other people, it's all about perspective. A lot of people are sad. A lot of people, own these high-end cards. And again, we have the quarter century secret rare. What if this gets a Starlight in the tints? Hasn't been announced yet. Not saying that it has to. If it doesn't get a Starlight in the tints, it'll probably get it in Rarity Collection 5. So again, you see this card, used to be 900, got the reprints in Stampede, but not a Starlight. But they got, the PURs and the PCRs and the PSRs, Autumn Ps and Autumn Mars, and now the card is 600. What do you think? 11 listings only, still scarce, we get it. Goes to 700, 800 at the bottom of the page to a band. We understand. What if this gets a Starlight in the tints? What if? Just what if? Is a question that I've been asking, and if I would be an owner of this card, I'd be asking the same question. Never know. Not that it has to happen, but what if it does? Me, I'd be mitigating risk. Jay, what does that mean? Mitigating risk. It means if you own a card like this or any of the other high-end like staple-ish cards, you move them. You get rid of them heading into a reprint season. I get it. Not everyone's like, I'm not going to be moving my cards. I'm not going to deal with this, deal with that, and having to sell it and having to move. Then, hey, that's the risk. That's the whole point. Once this gets slapped on the tins or in the Rarity Collection 5, then, you can't be whining and complaining. Oh man, this and that. It's Konami, man. In the sense, not in the negative way, but actually in a positive way. Like there's reprint cycles, always and forever in Yu-Gi-Oh history. And it's well known. Konami said it. Moving forward, we're reprinting Starlights, essentially. So now when people see it like this, they're going crazy. Oh man, my high-end this, high-end that. And if you're like me, now we're going to have the technical max rarity for $1. Not to say that these cards would be that cheap, but I'm excited. I love reprints, man. Let me know what you guys think. It's all about perspective. There's going to be people that don't like it, people that do. People like Yu-Gi-Oh is dead because collectors can't do this, can't do that. Yu-Gi-Oh is not a collector's game. Let's be honest. Yu-Gi-Oh is a competitive game. You know, you have Pokemon, they don't really care about competition. They always get hype about worlds once a year. That's about it. They care about collectability, owning their cards forever, building a collection, things of that sort. And Yu-Gi-Oh, yes, there's collectors out there. Yes, there's even a couple that watch the channel. They exist, but I'd bet to say 80-90% of Yu-Gi-Oh players, they're players. We don't say Yu-Gi-Oh collectors. In Pokemon, usually it's Pokemon collectors. You don't say Pokemon players because most people don't play. It's just the facts. In Yu-Gi-Oh, we say Yu-Gi-Oh players. We don't say Yu-Gi-Oh collectors, so it is what it is, you know? Yeah, if you're a collector and you have this card, just keep in mind, just in case, if they reprint, they slap the Starlight somewhere, keep that in mind, boys. Then again, we're gonna be talking about the tins. We still don't have pre-sales up for the upcoming 2025 tins. So again, we told you guys that we're going to talk about the 2023 tins and then the 2024 tins before the 2025 tins come out, just to give you guys insight of the value that's inside there. Maybe cards you should be looking at. You know what I mean? You mean what I know? So we're going to definitely take a look at that. And then once pre-sales come up, hopefully next week, you know, we can take a look at those cards as well. So I'm excited. So again, we're going to be talking about the 2023 tins today. So we have Unicorn. Just as an example, this card right now actually says it's crashing down in price. It's at around $5. I mean, I think this card already had its A-Day, and most people are using Fenrir. Most Yu-Gi-Oh players and most competitive builds in high-end Yu-Gi-Oh, they're just playing triple Fenrir. They're playing triple Fenrir, and they're sitting on them Fenrirs, and that's about it. They don't play the Unicorns and the Kashtira Theosis and the Birth and this and that and the third, right? Most people are not doing that right now in high-end Yu-Gi-Oh! And we understand. Me, I'm playing a bigger package of Kashtira, obviously with Regenesis, and trying to add the K9, a little K9 engine in there, so we're cooking. But the whole point is, this card, again, it still needs a reprint. Yeah, it's $5. Sometimes you don't just need a reprint because of price. Sometimes you just want a different rarity. Sometimes you don't want to pay $5. If this card gets reprinted, then it's going to be what, 2 to 3s max? You know what I mean? Maybe you can start getting unicorns at dollars, you know, much better, much better on a budget. Hopefully this card gets reprinted from the 2023 tins. But yeah, even 2 years later, this card has had its hype cycles. Right now is crashing back down to the mean because people expect it to get reprinted. So we'll see if it happens in this year's tins. Hopefully, just even as an ultra, we'll take any. I love reprints, man. I just love reprints. I love having more copies of a card that has been in demand throughout the years and that has seen these hype cycles. And of course, price wise is pretty affordable right now. But let's say we get an ultra, then that means this card gets cheaper. That's always my mindset. You know, like let's say this is the version I want. We get an ultra, is gonna be 2 to 3s max. Then I'm gonna be a happy camper getting, you know, a playset of this for less than $10 and paying for 15s for a playset. And of course, it's just a $5 difference, but still, why not? Why not? Cheaper cardboard, man. I see a lot of people, you know, complaining and this and now my high-end, cheap budget. That's gonna be the best case scenario. That's why a lot of people hold on to cards for too long. They're trying to collect this and collect that. And honestly, right now, Yu-Gi-Oh is in a place that max rarity is blurry. Max rarity is in a blurry place right now. What does that mean, Jay? Well, Starlight rares were the max rarity based on scarcity. The technical max rarity. You had Appaloosas at $2,000, IP Mascarenas of the band. You had all this and all that, and now Starlights are everywhere. So again, what's max rarity in Yu-Gi-Oh? Literally, should I make a dedicated video on that now? Of course, it's gonna be people going, oh, for this card is first that OG Ghost rare, and for that card is like Imperm is the ultimate rare from the OTS pack, but then for this card is the quarter century secret rare because it doesn't have a Starlight. But for this one, now it has a Starlight, but it doesn't have quarter century secret rare. Like, yo, I'm telling, like, max rarity in Yu-Gi-Oh is blurred right now. It's blurry as hell. So you know what max rarity is for me? Cheap. You know what I mean? Like the cheapest, shiniest cardboard, that's max rarity for your boy. You know what I mean? Because it's, hey, if it's like value-wise, oh, max rarity, man, value-wise. Hey, for some cards, it's Starlights. For other cards, it's OTs. For other cards, it's Ghost Rares. Again, it's just, you know what I mean? You mean what I know? It's a blur, man. So I wouldn't be focused on collecting right now, and I wouldn't be focused on technical max rarities. I would just be focused on the cheapest, shiniest cardboard that you can buy. You know what I mean? You mean what I know? Guys, we have Manadium Prime Heart. What the? Why are we talking about this card from Cyberstorm Axis? In the second half of this video, you guys will know why. So stay tuned. More goodies towards the end of this market watch. So again, mainly around killer tunes. Again, I don't know, that probably won't be the name once it comes out here in the TCG, but the Synchro Summoning deck that will be coming out, I don't even know what set it is, guys. You guys will know more than me. I just know that it is coming out. In some of the extra decks, you're starting to see this card pop up. Again, probably to go for game. You can swing multiple times. It's already 3,000 beat stick, and then, you know, it could attack up to the number of tuners that it was used for its Synchro Summon, up to that amount of time. So you can be swinging with 3K multiple times. Crazy, right? So again, you know, this card only has 2 prints. We're going to discuss that a little later on in this market watch. But look at this volume candle. Look at this volume candle. No one's paying attention to this right now. No one in the big picture of things, no one is paying attention to this card right now. No one. This card was 37 cents, went up to $1.50, crashed all the way back down to the scene of the crime to 30 cents. And right now you can come in here and essentially get at least a playset for $1. So again, don't take this for granted. This is a penny stonk from Syak, only has 2 prints. Just putting it out there. I'm not saying that it's going to be the end all be all. I'm not saying that, you know, by the time killer tunes come out over here, that everyone needs to necessarily play this card. It might be an option, or maybe it's not played. I'm talking about speculation. Speculation. We're going to touch base in a little bit. Cards like these can get hyped with only 2 prints. I honestly thought this card got reprinted in the tins as a prismatic secret rare, but I was wrong. It only has 2 ultras. We're going to get into that a little bit later on in this market watch. But Manadium Prime Heart, bro, shekels, get exposure. You're already seeing this volume candle that no one else is paying attention to. So we're highlighting it now before this shekel card becomes a belly. We're here to make money. Or if you're playing killer tunes, if you decide to play the deck, just come in here, man, pay shekels, have exposure. If the card is needed in the future and it actually sees play, you have it, you got it at shekels. If it doesn't see play, probably a hype and speculation alone will probably spike the price up anyways. You invest in it today, and then you sell it to a Billy Bob building killer tunes too late, and then you live to fight another day. Guys, talking about the tins, I actually ordered mine. We are not sponsored by Game Nerds. I'm just telling you, I usually come over here, I'm like, the price seems right. You know, this card, I think it was not this card, this product, I think it was like 159s, then they sold out. It was 165s. I was gonna buy it at 159s, but I waited 1 day. It's crazy. And then when I came back with the money, it wasn't there. Then at 165s, I actually I set the restock notification, and then I received an email last night. Boom, we ordered our you know, I mean, we're used to saying tins, but now it's tuck boxes. I'm gonna still say tins. We ordered our bundles, our tins here. We're just used to it because it's been tins since like the dawn of time. But you know, the whole point is, you know, I think this is a great deal. Sure, can people get it somewhere else, maybe on eBay for 150, or maybe in somewhere else better? Sure. Right now they're out of stock. They were like this a couple days ago. What I would do, if you want to get it from here, again, we're not sponsored by them. It's just, I'm just telling you what, you know, what I'm doing. I got me a case. If you want a case of the tins, we know we're getting Starlight, Little Knight, Imperm. We're getting the Mold Charmies. Yes, I know, guys. I know. Pull rates probably be terrible. We understand. Me, I'm just saying, I'm getting it for the channel. I get to open up a case. It helps people have an idea of what a case brings based on pull rates, things of that nature. Visually, I just do it for the channel. Honestly, if I wouldn't have this channel, because I used to buy tins before I had the channel, but I would only buy like 1 tin, 1, 2 maybe, just to feed the itch, the addiction, just crack open some packs, some tins, sure, for the funsies. But if you're out there, you're like, yeah, Jay, pull rates are bad, I want to buy a case. You know, I would advise for you to do it sooner rather than later, because I would set the restock notification. It might be at a little bumped up price, but you know, yeah, just wanted to put this out there for you guys, something to keep in mind. First link in the description down below. You want to make sure you fast track each and every single card that we will be talking about today. If you want to purchase any of these at your convenience, first link in the description down below. You can track these instead of going researching, you know, via the search bar one by one on TCG Player. Guys, our road to 10K is here, man. We're getting there fast. And in just 3 days, we will be selecting our biggest giveaway here on the channel when it comes to a deck box, a binder, and a playmat all in one giveaway, guys. Where else can you get this, man? Final giveaway towards 10K. You don't want to miss out. In just 3 days. 3 days, man. This Friday, we will be selecting a winner. There's your last shot, man. I don't know how else to say it or what else to say, or, you know, just get in here and participate in our channel giveaway. Don't miss out over there on X. I want to say thank you. A lot of people have been following us over there. It's hard to grow on X, man. It's hard. It's very, very hard to grow on X. So we're almost approaching 600 followers, and it's all thanks to you guys. So make sure you participate in this free giveaway. And yeah, make sure you like the video on your way in, subscribe, ring that bell. Would gladly appreciate it, guys, as we continue to grow, getting very, very close towards 10K, and is all thanks to you guys. So like we said, today I didn't see any announcements. Usually at 12, they actually 12 p.m. Eastern time, they always post the new goodies. Today I didn't see any. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not sure, but hey, yesterday's was so good that we can even talk about it today again. Nah, man, I'm excited for these reprints. Let me know what you guys think. So again, we have the 2023 tins. We have this set right here. Everyone forgot about this set, you know, and of course the higher end, the Bystials and the Kashtiras, we understand. But again, if you deep dive into the set, you can really notice that there's some things going on with certain cards right here. But let's start off with the best-selling card. Again, Fenrir. We're always talking about this card, especially the last couple of weeks, about weekly. We've been talking about this card because it's been in demand. Like we said, this card, a lot of people are choosing to play it at threes. Just triple Fenrirs, just bait something out. Being able to play around, I think, is Holly Sue or certain decks, or do this or do that. Just being able to play around one interaction sometimes is all you need. So the card went from 9s, sets to 16s, actually went up to 18. So it 2x'd, and now it's retracing back down to the main, back down towards 15 bones, 48 listings. And honestly, the main issue with this card is the potential reprint. The potential reprint. This card could be slapped in one of these. No one would be surprised. Literally, you could see a Fenrir at any moment in one of these. No one would be surprised, right? So again, that is what's going on. This card is best-selling right now. Literally, one of the best-selling cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. But the point is that a potential reprint is around the corner. So I need this card. I need this card. So what am I doing? I'm waiting. Patience wins this game. If the tins come out and there's no Fenrir, then I'm gonna need to pay it. Sure, I might pay a little bit of a premium compared to, but at least I have that information. And if it doesn't get reprinted in the tins, then we expect the Rarity Collection 5 and eventually being reprinted in there as a Starlight. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, I don't think Konami's going to let us know everything that's coming in the tins, but they've done a very good job letting us know of a couple of, big reprints like Impermanent, Little Knight. But, hopefully, again, like we mentioned, the Fantastic Four in one of our market watches not too long ago. This is part of that, of those 4 main cards that we need to see reprinted soon. We just need it. We need it. So again, hopefully it gets a reprint soon. It is around 15, but 15 bucks. I ain't paying no $50 for no place at the Fenrir, man. Let us get a cheap Starlight. You know what I mean? You mean what I know? And yeah, I mean, it's a lot of risk, man. A lot of risk. Because if it gets a Starlight Rare reprint, then this card, it could get destroyed overnight, man. So just something to keep in mind. This is from the 2023 tins. We have the Bystial Lubellion. Again, the Bystial package. This is part of the Bystial package. This card is another one that needs, I think this is part of our Fantastic Four, right? This card needs a reprint. It does. Card was 18s, going down 11, 12s. It's around 13s. We talked about this card recently. There's not like any major walls right here, so it could quickly bump up to 14, 15 bucks. No one would be surprised. But it's just about that damn time, Konami. Just give us this reprint, man. Give us an Ultra in the tins. Just slide it in there. Give us a slot or a Starlight. This point, we'll take any reprint of the Bystial package. Druid's Worm is coming, and it's already announced, so make sure you include the Magnamuts, the Lubellions, and all these Bystials, guys. I think Magnamut, we pulled it up right here. Did we? Yeah, right there eventually. So, again, just look at that. The Magnamuts of the world, Druid's Worms of the world, the Lubellions of the world. Again, Lubelli's 13s. I expect single digis with a reprint coming very, very soon. But the card is still in demand, man. These cards are still best selling. People that don't follow the markets, don't follow reprint cycles out there, they just like, yo, I need the card. Oh, yo, it's going down. It's cheaper. All right, I'm gonna buy it now. They're not worried like, yo, what if it gets reprinted? What if this? What if that? And that's why Billy Bob is coming in uninformed, and they pay the price. Sometimes they're right. If this card doesn't get reprinted, then they got a deal. But most times than not, heading into a reprint season, you know, cards like these get reprinted, especially once we already know that one got announced. I mean, at this stage and age, if one got announced, that's the important of it, of that announcement. When we saw Duel Swarm, that means that now we're open to the rest of them being reprinted as well. So yeah, Duel Swarm here still has a one of, it's still $7, of course, because now this is a known reprint. So again, I would still be selling this, honestly. I'd be selling this card. That's just me. You know, and then wait for the Starlight Rare to get reprinted. Because this card is a one of, is not seeing that much play right now either. So you're like, man, but yeah, it's down this and it's already down in price. Might as well hold on. Guys, $7 could become 2 to 3s and you're down 50%. You know, it's all about percentages and recycling that purchasing power. So again, most of these cards I'd be getting rid of. I'd be getting rid of these 2023 10 cards because we already know that Duel Swarm is coming. That opens the floodgates for the other ones to come as well. Bystial Magnuma, again, you know, it's a card that a lot of people play at one of. You know, the card has been always hovering. You know, there's a couple deals, flash deals here and there, but it's around 5 bones, guys. And the card, that's where it's been at forever now. Just hovering here. Literally, you can see consolidating sideways between 4 and 6s, essentially. But right now, this card is just waiting for a reprint. Honestly, you don't want to see this card go back down to 2s and below. You want to make sure you're moving out around $5. Just move it. You know, we expect this card to get reprinted. It is at 1. So the demand is there, but that's the approach that I would be having with a card like this. Then we have Lazy Cartesia, the Virtuous, again, a card that we've been talking about lately. Look at that. Went on a parabolic rise to $10.40 and now crashing back down, it says, to 650s. You know, and that's where we're at, between 650s and 7s right now, but the demand is high up there. So again, this card needs a reprint. It already has an ultra rare, so you know, it already has a Starlight as well. So yikes, man. Alternate art Starlight reprint in the tints. I don't see that happening, but yeah, this card went on a parabolic rise and now volume is coming back in. Insane volume came in. People took profits at double digits, retraced that back down 30-35%, and now it's curving back up as the demand continues to rush in of people needing this. It's a meta relevant card now. Played in Draco Tail. So again, it's crazy to see that the 2023 mega tints are still providing value to this day. A card that was a buck of some change, no one cared about it. Literally, it went on a parabolic advance move, and now retracing back down to the mean. So yeah, I mean, and the card quickly goes back up to 850s. You have a play set at 7s, but then there's 1s and 2s all the way to 850s, guys. So it could potentially reclaim, you know, the double digit mark again. So the 2023 10s still providing value in 2025. That's crazy. 2 years later, we have Bystial Fenrir. And again, when we talk about cards like that, like Cartesia, like it's already, you see, it's been 2 years. Like it's insane. It's insane. Like we were talking about that card when it came out, you know, and talking about guys long-term this, long-term that. And look, just as an example, it's crazy to see how years later, years pass by and we forget about certain cards and then we revisit them now. And it's crazy to see how, you know, these 10 reprints pan out. We have Fenrir again, a Bystial that used to be $8. Just a double top formation, man. Wow. It's just, guys, it's all in the lessons, man. Men lie, women lie, the charge don't lie. Again, this case is Fenrir, but it's all about learning this pattern. Because yeah, I mean, hindsight is 2020. You're like, Jay, yeah, you're talking about it now. After it happened, of course, everyone can see that there's a double. No, it's not about that. It's not about that. You can catch these moves in the moment, in the sense of we come here. You have top number 1 and top number 2, right? You know, you connect the dots right here, essentially. Boom, right there. This is a double top, right? We can see it as clear as day, right? The key, if you're going through this move and we don't know this part of the move right here, this part of the move is unknown, let's say, right? And we're right here at this potential double top formation, right? The key is going to be the pivot low. This is how we know. This is how we know. So again, this is 850. The top was 850. The pivot low was, let's say, 750s, right? So again, that's really the pivot right there. You can draw a line right here, guys. So again, this is the key moment in this chart right there. So if you see, you know, that we had kind of a double top, all-time highs, and then you see this curvature right here come back down and revisit the previous pivot low right here. That was the key moment. Once we broke that level, it's run for them hills. Run for them hills, guys. Then the double top is confirmed. So you always wait for confirmation. It's not like, oh, that kind of looks like a double top. Yeah, maybe. No, you wait for the confirmation. And the confirmation is always the breakature. It's probably not a word. The breakature of the previous pivot low. Easy peasy. Jay, what are you talking about? We need to make a free course, talk about pivots and charting and stuff. So, just work with your boy. For now, double top, M shape dump right here, as you can see. And look at that. Now the card is 3 bones. 3 bones quickly does go to 450s and eventually 450s, as we can see here. But yeah, I mean, eesh. Hopefully you ran for them hills once the double top was confirmed. These patterns save people money and allow people to recycle their purchasing power before a potential reprint in this year's tins, probably as an ultra, it'll be nice, will destroy this card's price value. And then it'll be a great time to pick this card up at sub $3 down the line. We have Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. I remember this specific card when the Blue Eye structured deck came out. It had a wall of China, like 2,000 copies, bro. It was crazy. We actually covered it here in the channel. It was like a buck and some change, like crazy walls of China. Now, card going from a buck and some change says the 3s. And if we clean this up janitor style, we can see here that the card is actually, I mean, you have 2 ofs and 3 ofs and 4 ofs, RO12 at 2s, but really, the walls are now at $3. This wall, it was in the thousands. Crazy. And now the walls are now at 3s. Insane to see this card up, go up in price. And essentially the walls are now at an all-time high for a card that had insane amounts, but hey, consistent just purchases coming in. It's a Blue Eyes card. This is the technical max rarity, and it can get a reprint. You never know if Konami reprints this as a Starlight, you know what I mean. It's a Blue Eyes card. But yeah, it's crazy to see that this card is approaching essentially 3 bones when it was readily available forever. And that just goes to show that even though sometimes we see massive walls of China, of thousands and thousands of copies throughout time, cards like these, they age well, and you can see it's going to be $3 soon. So just keep in mind, we're heading into the reprint season. We have Sales Ban, a card that we talked about on the channel, the super rare from the 2023 tins, was 550s the other day, and now it's getting destroyed in price down to $3 essentially. You have an R09 right here at 315s, and the walls are at 350. So yeah, this card is it's crashing down hard. It went on a massive parabolic rise from less than a quarter to 585s. Insanity. It was just too high, too fast in a way. And now we crashed down essentially 50% right now. And yeah, now the card is reassessing. It's, falling out of favor from the from the meta. And then we don't know if and when it's getting reprinted. A nice little ultra rare rarity bump in the 2025 tins would be good for this one. Let me know what you guys think. We have Kashtira Birth. Again, this card, I personally believe that if Fenrir gets a Starlight rare, and we always talk about Fenrir and Unicorn together. Honestly, if they don't reprint Unicorn, okay, I wanted it, but okay. But Fenrir needs a reprint. Even for those players that only play Fenrir, they still need the card. Fenrir needs to get reprinted in this year's tins. If they don't reprint Fenrir, the tins are failure. Nah, I mean, there's always value inside the tins, man, going for singles. But we need Fenrir, man. But again, Birth, I believe if Fenrir gets a reprint in the tins, all the other auxiliary pieces will go up. Why? Because yes, most people are just using triple Fenrirs, but there's people like me out there, I need playing Regenesis Kashtira, I want a bigger Kashtira package with X deck, with Y deck, with Z deck. So again, as we can see here, Birth, we'll see. It could also get an ultra rare in the tins. It's possible, right? So once we have that information, if this card doesn't get reprinted in the tins and we get Fenrir in the tins, then this card could become money. Just one to keep in mind. Right here, the card is around $2, honestly. And if you need like your one of, I came in and I got my one of at like a buck and some change. Sure, could probably get a reprint, an ultra print maybe soon, but it was cheap. You know what I mean? So again, if the card goes down from $1.50 to $1, shit. And I'm down a couple percentage points, but again, it's just the one of, it's to play. I'll live with those results, but again, I'll be looking out. If it doesn't get reprinted in the tins and we get Fenrir, then I want to get more of these. So just want to be on the lookout from the 2023 tins that most people are not paying attention to, as well as Kashtira Shangri era. This card, again, from the tins, used to be more money not too long ago. As you can see, used to be in the 2s. Wow, crashing down the shekels right here. But there's just a lot of one-ups. Then it reclaims the Billy mark and the walls. Where's the walls? Wow, where's the walls here? Walls of China for this card. Oh, you have a playset at I mean, that's LP. Wow, 250s if you want multiples from one seller. Pretty interesting. So again, this is a card. Yes, most people don't play it. Most people don't need it. They're not playing a fuller Kashtira package. I am. I needed this. Thankfully, I had like 6 of these. Just took one for myself. Have 5 there just marinating like fine wine. Sure. Could it get reprinted again? Of course. Even though, you know, it's a Kashtira card, you see it only has 2 prints. So actually an ultra rare in between these would be fitting in this year's tins. Sure. I mean, why not? I'm all for reprints, but the technical max rarity will continue to be this version. So if you need the card, I'd be picking it up right now at Shekels. We have Therion King Regulus, guys. With all the machine craziness going on and the machine hype, you know, this card, keep it in mind, I think it already has a Starlight rare, and it never got the quarter century. So yeah, I mean, this card used to be $1. And now it says 2s and some change. Volume is strong for this card. So 83 listings. You have a couple of 1s and 2s, a couple play sets here and there, but nothing too crazy. So the card is around $2 and the walls are at 220s, guys. So again, the walls are at 220s right here. And if you need this card from the 2023 tins, sure, it could get reprinted like most other cards at any moment, but not bad at all. It's a card that most people forgot about. The card is broken, and with all the machine hype going on, is definitely one that I wanted to highlight. I own a couple of these. I would need to find them, of course, but they're somewhere somehow, right? But if you don't have this card, maybe getting exposure, playset, doesn't seem too bad at all. Then we have D-Visor King Du Machine X. This card from the 2023 tins, again, used to be free 99 shekels, literally. $1 for a playset. Volume came in, DDDDD announcement, and it's never looked back. Now it's consolidating here. Very, very healthy consolidation. Just range bound here, just waiting to make a decision as we head towards the DDDD new support. So right now at $2, if you need the card, not bad. You don't know if and when it'll get an additional print. Honestly, at this stage and point and age of things, if you're playing DDDD, no excuse to not own the card, even if it's at $2. Because after that, it'll go to 250s. Don't be surprised if this card goes to 3 to 5s the closer we get to the DDD new support release. So definitely one from the tins that you want to keep in mind. And here we have Ride of Aramesir. We also have Fateful Adventure. And we also have Water Enchantress of the Temple. So these 3 cards actually came in the 2023 tins. Most people forgot about this. Of course, these cards can receive a reprint at any moment. Keep that in mind. But if you need these, look at that. Aramesir at shekels to $1. Like, why not get exposure? You have Fateful Adventure. This card used to be like $4 or $5 back in the day. And come in here, shekels. And then you have Water Enchantress. This one has 1 million prints. So it's readily available. Ultra, CR, quarter century. It has 1 million prints. But if you're on a budget, not bad at all at shekels. You can get your playset down here. So again, these 3 cards came in the 2023 tins. They can get additional reprints at any moment, but if you want to get exposure to the engine, why not? It is the adventure package, and it's pretty cheap, man. Shekels, maybe $1 here, $1 there. Not bad at all. Most people forgot that these cards came in the 2023 tins, and that's why, as always, once in a blue moon, it's always good to come back, revisit these sets, because they still contain so much value. And it could potentially turn even into more value if these cards don't get reprinted as soon then they eventually see play. I think something was mentioned about support for these cards, if I'm not mistaken, a while back. So definitely keep those 3 in mind. Cheap, look at that. Look at that booty shape recovery for Fateful Adventure. No one's looking at it. Volume cap. That's the thing, guys. That's the thing. That's the thing. Look at that multi-factored play in the chart right here. Look at that. It's just, it's obvious, man. It's obvious. Look at that. You have, man, not the circle. You have this volume candle literally right here. It's an outlier on the yearly chart. And then after that, you have a booty shape recovery down here near the lows. And then the rebound actually confirmed the booty shape recovery at around $1 and some change. No one's paying attention to this card now. Men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. Unless this card gets a reprint soon. This card could be 2, 3s. No one would be surprised. Just keep these cards in mind. And we have Master of Chaos. Honestly, when I saw this card, I thought this card came in a Rarity collection, because a lot of the Dark Magician cards came inside Rarity collections, or got reprinted. But this one, no. This one has its OG Ultra, and then it's 10 Max Rarity, Prismatic Secret. So yeah, it's a Dark Magician card. Largest 3-month volume candle in the last 90 days. Keep it in mind, this card is $2, 240s. And yes, there's a wall of China, but after that, can easily go to 3s and beyond. It's a DM card. Just keep it in mind. if you need it, it's worth a couple of billies. We have Timaeus, the United Dragon. This card, look, was $1, a buck, a bean, a bone, a billy. No one cared about this card. 2023 tens. Who cares about no Timaeus, tomatoes, tomatoes? And then you come in one day and the card says it's twos. And yeah, you have all one-ofs all the way to where? One-ofs all the way to where? Look at that. Place it's at 265s already. When the card was always $1, no one cared about it. And big picture is at all-time highs right now. So you have this card is at all-time highs. Don't be surprised. This card can keep trickling up towards $3, $4, $5, especially if it doesn't get any additional prints soon. So the 2023 tins continue on giving. We have Runic Tip, man. Wow, it's crazy how Runic Tip, Runics fell out of favor. Thanks to Malice mostly. And yeah, I mean, it's $2 right here. This card is pretty cheap, man. Runic Tip, of course, it could get reprinted as a Starlight at any moment. But right now it's pretty cheap. Like if you just want to have access to Runics, most people hate, the deck, the cards. But yeah, it's in a little uptrend here from shekels to Billy. So yeah, this came in the 2023 tin. So if you want the card, if you want to get exposure to it, if you don't think it's getting reprinted anytime soon, you never know when's the next time that Runics make a comeback. And if no reprint comes for this card in the short term, it can become money down the line. And we have Exosister Martha. Again, a lot of Exosister cards got printed inside the 2023 tins. There's Exosister support coming out. So again, this card has always been multiple billies, but now is actually near all-time lows, guys. Here at $1 billion some change. So if you need this card, you need to pick it up. Anything under twos should age well for these Exosister cards, especially with the new support coming out soon. We have Muckracker from the Underworld. This card is 89 shekels, going up to $1 billion some change. And yeah, man, the walls are at $1.35. So going from shekels to billies, volume came in. And yeah, because this card is it got printed 2 years ago, man. So it's harder. These cards that came in 2023 is harder to get than what it seems. You know what I mean? Now it's been multiple years. So definitely keep these penny stonks in mind. The Zombie Vampire as well. This one had massive walls of China. I remember. Was it like over hundreds of copies or even over 1,000 at one point? But right now the card is at around $1. This card is broken, guys. It is. Card was always 50 cents. It had like insane amounts of walls of China. And now the volume came in and it's hovering here, consolidating at around $1 mark. So not bad at all. I mean, look, you have walls here at $1. Another wall at $1.10. So if you need the card is at around a bone. You never know when this card is going to come back into the meta. It is insane and it is broken. So you don't want to sleep on the Zombie Vampire. And a lot of these cards, they only have 2 prints. In this case, it's a secret and a prismatic secret. So again, even the OG secrets, you have a couple of flash deals there at $1, but really the card is about $2. So yeah, man, keep cards like these with only 2 prints with no reprint in sight. You never know, man. It's one move away, someone including it in an extra deck away from becoming money. We have Spellbound, the ultra rare here. Recently was shekels and now is more shekels. The wall of China at 65 cents. So it's good. If you need a place at $2 post tax, you come in, you get exposure to the card. The card, is good, but it needs to fit a certain niche format. So if you need it, it's pretty cheap. Who knows if and when it gets an additional print, but definitely one to keep in mind from this year's tins, this year meaning the 2023 tins, as an ultra rare, because it can go, even though it has these walls, it can go from shekels to billies, as it was at one point, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't show it here, but I believe like over a year ago, this card had its heyday and it was more than $1. So it might, as you can see here, go back up. It's on its rise, volume is coming in. So just because you see that current wall, it can get gobbled up and become $1. So if you need it, do as you must. We have Branded Regain. This rare, it's crazy. When we were opening these tins, we saw rare, trash, bulk, and it's moving on up. You do have walls of China at 73 cents, and between 73 and 79 cents. So it's readily available. But this rare can become $1. It can, especially if it doesn't get reprinted soon. It's a branded card. When I checked the prints of this card, it only has is it this one or that's the other one? Yeah, no, but if you click right here, yeah, it only has 2 prints. A super rare max rarity, which is also getting harder to get, and the rare. They're both getting harder to get. So I'd be getting the super right now, but it is around $2. But if you're more on a budget, you still want to get it at shekels, now is the time, because with the new branded support coming, these rares from the tins that no one's paying attention to right now, because we're 40 minutes in and people probably left by now, these can become money, man. They can. Don't sleep on it. We have branded and central dogmatic. Again, new dogmatic support coming. This came in the tins as a common. It had a previous common, first at OG, and then it has okay, so this one got reprinted in both tins. Wow, okay. And it actually got the rare reprint inside the Dueling Heroes. So again, which is the one that we're talking about today. We're going to be talking about Dueling Mirrors probably this weekend. So again, the rare is inside the tin that we're talking about today. And this is the technical max rarity. Again, just keep it in mind. Right now it's readily available. You have place that's at under a dime, so no one's paying attention. You have a bunch of listings. We get it. Usually, this is when people need to come in, when no one's paying attention to a measly rare from a 2-year-old tin, you know, and this is the max rarity version. Dogmatic getting support, branded getting support. It's like the perfect double whammy for a rare like this to potentially go literally from shekels to billies. You don't want to sleep on such a card. You don't. We have Garura, Wings of Resonant Life. This card came inside the 2023 tins as well. Was always $1. No one cared about it. Got the rarity treatment, so no one cared about this version. And little by little, this version is going up towards 2s and beyond. 60 listings only. So Garura, always a super poly target. Always one that you want to keep in mind. And this one will actually serve into a bridge for the latter part of our market watch here. So in just a moment, I'll definitely explain this for you guys. Guys, link in the description down below. Come over here. Come in our Discord on X. Shop our accessories and get $15 off over here. Look at that. Zuna 39 bones minus 15 bucks. Why not? If you need your Zuna, take advantage of those 15 bones right there. Make sure you do not miss out. Guys, none of this content is official financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. Make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, like the video on the way out. The way in, I'm sorry. So that we can continue to growing. Damn, this 10K is taking forever, man. We only need 20 more Billy Bobs, man, and it's just stale, man. It's like the universe knows. It's like we're so close, but yet so far. Man, subscribe. Even if you're an OG, just double check. It really would help out the channel. So again, we have Killer Tune. Killer Tunes, guys. This deck, again, a lot of people excited. They love synchro summoning. That's why Red Nova is going up in price. You know, because the one of right there, you see this build particularly uses super poly. So again, we talked about Garura. Definitely want to keep in mind. We're going to just talk about the other versions here right now. You have Synchro Overtake. You have Duelist Genesis. You know, and then you have the Manadium card right here, Prime Heart as well. So, and a couple cards. So yeah, that's in that build. And then you have the side frames as well. And then in this build here, you have triple Duelist Genesis, triple Synchro Overtake as well. You do have Visa Starfrost and Visa Amber Terra. And then you have Prime Heart as well. So usually when I compare builds and I see, you know, the mainstays or cards that multiple builds use as well, like Synchro Overtake, Duelist Genesis, and Prime Heart in this example, like I like to, those are the main cards that I like to see and to look in the markets, because if multiple decks are using those same cards, it means that most likely the final build when the cards actually come out will include those cards as well. Look, another one here. You see this one uses Amber Terra as well and uses Silvera, Wolf Tamer of the White Forest. So definitely one that we're going to take a look at. But then you do see that this one uses Synchro Overtake, even though it doesn't use Duelist Genesis. So that's the important. And all three builds that we're randomly just seeing Killer Tune builds here, they all contain Synchro Overtake. So that's a sign. That's a sign. But before we get to Synchro Overtake, just wanted to mention Garura. Pick up this card. It's a super poly target. You know, make sure you pick whatever version you want. You do see here that the quarter century secret rare used to be more money. Now it's crashing down to 12-13s. No better time to get this card right now into this wall of China right there. RO10, 14 bucks. Because eventually it could be 15 or 20s. No one would, you know, break a sweat in that sense. Then you have the platinum secret rares at 2s. Used to be 3s. Now they're 2s. Not bad, guys. Not bad at all if this is the rarity that you want. And then you do have like the PCR at $1. You know, well, there's one there, but I mean, it quickly goes to 2. So just come in here. PCRs, PURs at $1. Just come in and get the version that you want of this card as a super poly target. Even the secret rares are dollars, guys. So don't sleep on these dollar cards that can be 2s, 3s down the line as a super poly target. Then we have Mo Dragon of the Swamp. Again, Another super poly target. Last we touched base on this card, I think it was in like 18, 19 bucks. Now it's 23 bucks. Quickly goes to 24s at the bottom of the page, 26 listings only. So again, just keep it in mind. Card was single digits, 9, 10 bucks, went up 2x, and as a super poly target, it is continuing to retain value. This one does have the full rarity treatment from Rarity Collection Uno as well. So pick your choosing with this card. Then we have Side Frame Gear Gamma. Again, it's a card that still only has 4 prints. Well, it has the CR, I think. I don't know why they don't put it here, but 5 prints only. That's crazy. You have super rares at $1.50, ultras at 5 to 6 bones. Not bad. You never know when Gamma, even at 1, comes in back into the meta fray. You know, rares here at shekels. So just wanted to show the card real quickly, so you guys can pick your choosing. And then you do have Side Frame Driver here. You know, the technical max rarity, ultra rare. You have a couple 1-ofs here and there. But then the card does reach go to $1 and some change and beyond. So yeah, if you need Driver, this is the max rarity from Battles of Legend Relentless Revenge. This is one that you wanted to keep in mind that you don't want to forget about. And we have, again, Manadium Prime Heart. We talked about the Cyberstorm Axis Ultra Rare. And then the second print actually is more scarce. Why? Because it's the same exact rarity, but it came in the 2-player starter set, man. As you can see here, the volume is coming in as well. And you do have massive walls of China for this one. We understand. So, I mean, at this stage and age, I'd just be getting the other ultra rare that is not more scarce in the sense of listings wise, but most people, if they would have to choose, they're going to go with the first, that OG. That demand and that rush will come in for that one. But if you're on a budget, you just want exposure to the card, again, not bad, guys. At shekels, at around under a dime, hey, just get exposure. No excuse to not own this card, just in case. You know, it does find play in any of those deck builds. Then we have Visa's Amritara. Everyone forgot about this card. Everyone forgot about this card. And I won't lie, this is the first at OG QCSR. I mean, at 20, it says 25s. The card was 40s. It's just, look at the volume coming in, guys. And right now it's at around a 20-piece McNuggies for Mickey D's. If you want this card, 20 bucks is not bad. A core set secret rare, quarter century secret rare that no one's talking about right now. And that you can see in some builds here, actually people are considering it, you know, playing it. Where was it? I think it was in this one. I think it was in this one too. Yeah, boom, right there. And then boom, right there. So again, you want the max rarity. Sure, it could get a start at any moment. Keep it in mind. But in the meantime, nothing's for sure. If you want this version at around 20 bucks, not bad. And then you have the first at OG Secrets at Shackles. This is free 99, man. Free 99. The card was $1 and some change, and now you have a multitude of options here as shekels, guys. So just keep on your radar. If you want exposure as shekels, I really love getting exposure to a card like this. And we're gonna discuss the tin because this one came in dueling mirrors. We're gonna discuss this one, you know, probably in the weekend. Just double check. But in the meantime, the first set OG, either secret rare or quarter century secret rare, not bad options to pick up for this card, just in case it ever catches on. We have Silvera, Wolf Tamer of the White Forest. Same deal from Info. Now, I do expect this card to get a reprint in this year's tins, probably as a prismatic secret rare. Hasn't been announced yet, but in the meantime, this current ultra rare is moving on up from $1.50 into the 2s. And yeah, you have the walls are now 2 bones. So again, if you need like a 1-of just to get exposure, not bad at all, but I'd be waiting to see if it gets reprinted in the tins before pulling the trigger, because the tins is coming out in a week, in about a week now, guys. So patience wins this game. No need to rush into this card. But yeah, just wanted to keep it highlighted for you guys. And then we have Synchro Overtake. Again, out of all 3 deck builds that and deck profiles that we saw, Synchro Overtake is the staple, the card that everyone was playing at 3-ofs, guys. So again, this card was a quarter, spiking up to 61 cents, and you have a couple 1s and 2-ofs. But yeah, it's gonna be $1 soon, guys. So pick your choosing. Multiple large candles coming in. The demand is just too great. This card only has 2 prints, and ironically, it came inside a tin, the previous year's tins, as an ultra rare from 2023. The previous year, 2022, right here, 2022 tins. The secret rare is still $6-7. I believe that one goes to double digits. And then this ultra rare is gonna go to $1. It's gonna go from shekels to billies. Unless, again, we don't know if and when it's getting an additional print. Maybe even if it gets a print inside of the synchro structure, that probably comes as a common. So this is the play, the perfect min-max rarity, still at shekels here. Card is already starting to go parabolic. You don't want it to get crazy and literally go towards $1 billion beyond. You must do as you must. Then we have Duelist Genesis. Again, a card that we saw that was used in a couple of those builds. You have the ultra rare, you know, again, just spiking up. We talked about this card not too long ago. And the ultra rare is currently at shekels, but not too many. If you need multiples, probably have to pay $1 and beyond. So right now, again, I mean, the super rare is the best play. It came in Duelist Nexus, is readily available, but overall, only 2 prints for this card. Don't let this card go from shekels to Billy's. And then we have Sea Monster of Thesis. That's crazy. This card came in Raging Tempest, only has 2 prints, only. I remember this was supposed to be, you know, like the best card of 2017. No one ever used it in that year, or ever for that matter. But yeah, as you can see in this first build, if, you know, playing Super Poly as a Super Poly target against, you know, I don't know, is it against the mirror match, or I mean, they would know why it's here. But again, you never, hey, speculation. The card is going up. Card was $1, volume double back to back. Largest yearly volume candles here just occurred. And spiking the card up, it says from $1 to $1.50, but really, this card is $2.50 for the first at OG. There's just one of. Quickly goes to 3s and then beyond towards $6 at the bottom. I'm sorry, towards $5 at the bottom of the page with the Wall of China 22 copies. So yeah, 22 listings, only 2 printings. And then this one is $2 right here. Quickly goes up to 3s for Sea Monster of Thesis. You know, came out in another tin, 2017 megatins. So yeah, with only 2 prints, you can see the volume candles are coming in strong, guys. So definitely keep this one in mind. I think the masses haven't caught up to this one yet. If you need the card, again, at least get your one of. I'd be getting it sooner rather than later. And lastly, Magistus Chorozo from Suda, guys. The super rare was 50 cents, 2/4 a pop, and now it's still there at around 62 cents. With the Walls of China still at shekels. But don't let this card go towards $1, guys. If you need it, get it soon. This is a Spellcaster Fusion Tuner, level 4, guys. So do as you must. As a super rare from Suda, you don't want to sleep on this card. You want to make sure you get it sooner rather than later. Guys, if you made it this far out into the video, you guys are straight MVPs. Make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, like the video on the way out. We'll gladly appreciate it. Make sure you share this in one place in the group chat with some friends. It really does go a long way, and I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Thanks for finding value in what I continue to do. Guys, thank you so much for your time, for your support, for your attention. Stay fresh.